Okay, let's get started. To make the new project in FL Studio, you have to click on the File and the New button. At the start you will see a lot of open windows, so don't panic, I will explain you how to use it. And let's start with the header panel. You can see a lot of buttons, but at the start you don't have to know about them all. So I will try to give you information about the most unnecessary things. So let's start with the play and stop button. I think that it's pretty clear what it's doing. It's just starting our main playlist and stopped it. The next session is about our BPM, about our tempo music. So to change it, just click on it and drag down or drag up like this. The next element that you have to know is metronome. As you can hear now, when we play, there is nothing. So let's stop. Our metronome is enabled. Play. Now you can hear the sound of metronome, and when you change your BPM, you can hear the difference. So it's just up to you how you want to configure it. Okay. At the start, let's forget about these buttons. You don't have to know what is it if you want to start making the just simple beats. So go next. Patterns. Patterns are the main element in FL Studio, as I can say you, because patterns are defining your kicks, claps, head. You can split it on the different patterns, give it name, and we will talk about it later when we're gonna talk about our playlist tab. It's located here. As you can see, it's pattern 1 and pattern 1 here, but I will explain you why this happens. So also the main buttons in header, as I can tell you, because this button allows to see our playlist, this button see our piano roll. Also, we will talk later how to use it, but at the start you have to understand how you can open this window. So click this button to open your piano roll. This button, it opens our channel rack. It's located here. So also we will talk about this channel rack later. You just have to know how to open it. Here's our mixer. It's located down here, and our browser tab. So also you can just hide it, just drag and drop it on the left side, on the right side as you wish, or just click it here. It doesn't matter at all. Okay, the next button is all generator effects that currently you have installed on your FL Studio. It's just simplest ones, because they're basic. I don't even install nothing here just to make the similar as your environment, so I think that it have to look something like this at the start. So to close it, just right click of your mouse like here, like this. And the last button that you have to know at the start, it's our tempo. So as we can already know, we can change tempo here, but also if you feel something and you have to configure it on your own, you can click on the mouse on the left click, and you can approximately understand what is that BPM, or you can just tap your enter. You can see the mouse is here, click enter. Okay. I think that it's the main elements that you have to know in the header. We will talk about these buttons also, but at the start it's not so the first thing that you have to know in the header buttons. So okay, and let's speak about the browser tab. As I said before, you just can drag this right border to close it or open. And what is the main purpose of this tab? So this tab provides all the plugins, all the sounds that you can use in your project in FL Studio that were initially provided by FL Studio and also you can just upload it, some sounds or free or paid sounds that you want to use in your project. So, and let's speak about buttons in this tab. And the first button is collapse all structures, all open folders. For example, you open some folders and you just don't want to click here, just click here to close it. You can just click on this button and all will be closed. So from the header, I think that it's most useful button that you will use. So about the structure, you have the three tabs. The first tab called all, the second is the current project, and the all plugins. And let's start with the all button. Tab all provides a lot of different folders, a lot of different presets, scores, and you don't know where to find your sound. The first tip, go to the packs. You will definitely have this folder when you install your basic FL Studio, and you will see here a lot of different sounds, and for example drums, and you can select the kick. For example, you want to find the really cool kick, and here by clicking on it you can hear how it sounds. For example, I'm just clicking on it. So here is a library of your sounds, kicks, hats, cymbals, and etc. So the first tip, go to the packs and find your sound here for basic. If you will upload something, I will show you how to do it later. Your folder will be displayed here as well. Also, as you can notice here, you can find here current project and that plugin database, but we have the separate tabs for it because it's called all, so you can find here all. Okay, and let's go to the current project. Also you can open it here, but for your convenience we can just click on this tab. So what we can see here you can find the all effects and all sounds that are using in your current project. At this moment we don't have any, so you can find that some history or patterns or generators, we don't have it. See, no kicks, no claps, no hats. If we will use something here, it will be displayed, and I will show you how it looks a bit later. So, and also talking about the plugins, here you just can extend this and find all plugins that are currently present in your FL Studio. So not all plugins that you're using in your project, but all plugins that are present in FL Studio. Different reverbs, distortions, and filters, all. After that I will show you the most useful plugins that we will use in our song. So they're very basic and pretty cool for beginners. Okay, and also we already know that collapse structure to close it all. Okay, I think it's all about this browser tab. You know where to find your sounds, you know how to find the sounds in your current project, you know how to find the plugins in your FL Studio, and I think that we're ready to start doing something. Okay, let's go. Let's speak about our playlist tab to play around with our pieces of our instruments. And let's start with our header bar in this playlist bar, and the first one is just a pen, which allows you to add new instrument by clicking on it and drag and drop if you press the left button of your mouse. So to delete the pattern your instrument, just the right click, left click and right click, and also to move it, also drag this instrument. The next button is a brush. It allows to to draw multiple our instruments. For example, just hold your left mouse and just like a draw, and the right click and delete, left click, right click. Okay, this button allows to delete, just left click and your kick will be deleted, or as you or clap or hat. This button allows to slip your melody in each instrument separately. For example, I'm holding the kick, and to the left, to the right, and I can drag my when this instrument sounds position. Okay, this button allows to slice our instrument. For example, you need to divide this kick. We just drawing here the line. Oh, our kick is split. Choose our pen, draw, and as you can see, we have two different kicks. Okay, to expand it, do here and like this, and we returned our kick. Yes, this button allows to play each our instrument individually. For example, clap. You have to hold the left mouse, or kick, or head. Cool, now we have our beat, but the next step we have to make the lead melody for our beat, for our song. So first step, also we have to make the separate pattern for this. Let's rename it like lead piano, and choose the color. Let's be the yellow one. Okay, now we have the separate pattern for our lead piano. The next step, we have to choose our pattern for this. Let's go to our browser tab. Let's instruments. We have our keyboard, and I just want to make the electric song, so I will choose the electric plugin. But as you can notice, I can't listen here how it sounds because it's only the plugin. We will use the piano roll to make the melody, and I will show you how. So, but firstly we have to choose our electric keyboard, push it here, opens our plugin. But as I said before, don't make any changes here. Only if you're really pro and you feel confident with this, you can play around. But at the first laps, I recommend you do not touch or anything. So as you can see, we have in the channel rec electric piano and lead piano here. So now we click here only on electric and open the piano roll to make our melody, and you can see that here is written the piano roll electric. That means that this piano roll is opened for electric. Don't make mistake that you can click here on our kick and open the piano roll, and piano roll will be opened for your kick. And you see, you hear it's only our kick will be here, but not our electric piano. But if you close this, choose the electric and open piano roll, here will be our piano. Okay, now we're ready to start making our lead melody. Okay, I have already created some melody and sounds like this. Okay, and also I have changed my plugin from electric to stage grand. I think that it sounds more deeper and cooler. And now what we are doing next, we have our melody. You can create your melody on your own by clicking on the different notes. I have just took the simplest chords from piano and put here like one melody. So it's up to you. You can repeat what I have created, just like a practice, or you can create it melody on your own. Of course, that you have to have some music basics to understand what is the chords. It's like a fundamental knowledge about music that you have to know to create some melody. or you just can on your random click on the different piano notes and create some melody. It's really up to you. I decided to make the melody using the simplest chords. So next step, we have to open our playlist. It's here. Now we have created before our lead piano, and we have to push it here. Now we can see that our lead piano part is bigger than kicks that we have here. Also kicks, claps and has, of course. We have to put some kicks also. I'm using the brush to make it. Claps, and I think that at the start of the melody it is not necessary to using the hats. We will use it later. And also claps for first two iterations. So let's listen how it sounds. If you want to repeat a specific period of your melody, you can just right click from the place where you want to start and drag it till the end, then click play, and then your melody will be looped in this area. So I can listen it and also modernize your listening. I think that's really cool part for the start. That's starting with the close melody. Also we can remove kicks from here and maybe something like this. Yeah, maybe like this. Just an ordinary piano, then kicks, and then claps. Yeah, I think that is enough for our start. You can feel that we have to make after that some risers and to rise our melody sounds. So at the start I think that it's enough for our lead piano. Of course that now we're not using some plugins for this for our piano, but also I will show you how to put some plugins for the lead piano a little bit later. Okay, now we're ready to start make music. And the first thing that we will pay attention, it is our channel rack. So remember, to open this channel rack, just click this button. It's located here in our header. Okay, first of all, I will explain you how to use this channel rack. So, and let's start with this play button. This play button just playing all our sounds that are currently in our channel rack for our pattern number 1. So what's the difference between this play and this play? This play button allows to hear us only the plugins that are located in the channel rack, but this button allows to hear us the sounds that are located in our general playlist. So that's the difference. Yeah, first button that you have to remember is this. The second button is this, because this button regulates our volume for this current our plugin that is set it. So just drag it, click on it and drag mouse down or up to regulate the sound. Okay, that's easy. This button is purposed for target our mixer track for this mixer tab that is located down. So just click on it and drag up or down, and you can see that here we can change our insert panel. So, and let's be it as a default number 1 for our kick. I will tell you later what we will do in this mixer tab and how we will operate with this tab. So at this moment it doesn't matter. So the next it's our plugin. Plugin by default is set at like kick, clap, hat and snare. It is like a basic ones, and we will change these plugins as well in the future, but in the start we will use the defaults. Okay, now we're ready to start making our beat, and let's start with our kick. We will use the default plugin, sounds like a kick, and what we can see here we can see our 4 step sequences, and let's put each kick on start on the first sequence, and to play this click here, and you can see you can hear it's too fast, and to change it just click here as you already know and drag down, for example like this, and play. Now it sounds okay. We can see that this kick is assigned to our pattern number 1, and if you want to change the name of this pattern, right click here and rename and color, and we will call it like a kick. Oh, it's uppercase, I have kick. Okay, and by clicking here you will change this color, for example red, and okay. Yeah, we have the kick right now. And now, as you can notice, we're starting to operate together with our playlist. Okay, now we have the kick. If you want to just drop this kick to your main playlist, you have to click on this kick and put it here. And now you can listen your kick how it sounds in your playlist tab by clicking here, and you can see that it's cycled because you don't have any other sounds here. Stop. Okay, we have a kick now, but what if we want to change our kick how it sounds? Now it sounds very primitive. Now we have to operate with our browser tab. See, now we using our 3 panels: browser, channel rack and a playlist. As you know, you have to go to the packs. We have to drums and kicks, and now we have to choose one. It's too aggressive, for example this the deep kick. And okay, now we want to use this sound, this plugin, and what we have to do, we have to click on it and drag and drop to our existing kick. But if you want to add it like a separate one, you can drop it here. See, now we have our basic kick and this kick, but we can't hear it because we haven't selected here anything. Okay, if you want to delete something, right click and delete, and okay, right? Okay, we want to use this kick as our main kick, so we have to drop it here. And now what we will get, now it's sounds a little cooler. Okay, by clicking on this plugin you can see the options for this plugin, but I advise you to do not change here something, because it's already generated kick that sounds okay. But maybe if you want to change something, you can play around here with these options, but usually I don't do this because I trust this already predefined options for this plugin. So, but as you wish, you can just play around to train to get a new sound from based on this plugin. So it's really up to you. Okay, now we have to add the claps to our playlist. So what is the next step? How we can add the second instrument to our playlist? The first step, you just have to click here and drag up to make the second pattern. So if we switch back to the first kick or first pattern, then we can see in the channel rack we again have our pattern for kick. Switch to the second pattern. Now it's clear because now we can make another instrument in this second pattern. So we have to find the clap in our browser. For that we have to open drums, claps, and just look for this. For example, okay, let's get this one and to the clap and add to the first here and here. So let's listen this. Okay, now we have the pattern for our clap, and let's rename this, call it pattern. Let's again uppercase. Okay, and let it be the blue one. Yeah. Okay. So now we have the separate for the kick, for the pattern, and pattern for the clap. Oh, sorry, that's not the pattern, it's just clap. Okay, we have the kick and we have the clap. Now we can listen how it sounds separately. Our claps. Let's switch to our kick. It's very convenient that we have two different patterns for the different instruments. Of course, we can make like this, but in the future, if we want to add some plugin for our kick or for our clap in the future, here in the mixer I will show you how to do that. Then it will be difficult to make the separate sound for the separate instruments. So we decided to make the separate patterns for them, kick and clap. And now if we want to listen how it sounds together, now in our playlist we have only kicks. Now we just clicking on the clap, dragging it to our playlist. Okay, now you see we have the separate kick and the separate clap. If you want to zoom in, zoom out, just hold on the control button and use your mouse wheel like this. Okay, now we can listen how it sounds together. Okay, now we're ready to add some head in our beat to make it sound deeper and cooler. So we have to make the same operation. First of all, we have to add another pattern, pattern number 3 by default, but we can have to rename it, and let's call it head, and let's it be the green one. Okay, now we have to choose the heads from our packs. I have already found the heads also again in our packs, drums, heads, and let's choose the one. Okay, I think that this will be cool. Okay, and let's put it here. You can choose as you wish where you can put your head, but I'm making the classic beat, so it will be sounds like this. And after that, when we are filling our pattern, we have to drop the head here. So, and let's listen this all together. Maybe we can play something with our BPM. No, maybe faster. No, I think that like this would be enough. So okay, now we have the real basic, our basic beat, and after that we are going to add some melodies using our piano roll, our main lead synth part that will be created here. And after that we also will be playing with our plugins that we having in our FL Studio by default, and I'm going to tell you what is the difference of these plugins and how to play with the mixers, how to assign each instrument for the insert for our inserts, because now all they're playing on the master, but we have to split it down and play around with our instruments individually. So, but now you know how to make your basic patterns, basic kicks, claps, hats, and yeah, and the only thing left is to talk about our playlist and how we can operate with all our patterns in this window. So what is our next step? Now we have a quite aggressive lead piano at the start, as you can hear. It starts very loud, so we are gonna make automation to raise our sound very from the quiet to loud. It would be sounds like cool, and for this we're gonna use our mixer tab and the plugin. And now I'll tell you about the mixer and how to use the plugins and automation. Okay, mixer tab. Mixer tab is purpose to configure and add plugin for each instrument individually. So how the mixer tab connected with our instrument? So the answer is this number. So this number is assigned for each road in the mixer. So how it works? You see here is the number 5. That means that in our mixer it is road number 5. So you can click on it and drag mouse down or up to change this position. In our example, I will show you how to add the plugin to our piano roll. So the piano roll, we were playing our lead piano. So we can see here the number 5, so that means that this road has our lead piano. The next step, we are going to add the plugin. Remind you that all plugins you can see by clicking on this button. It is all plugins that are available for us. So now we're at 5. Select slot number 1. Select. Here you can see all plugins that we have currently installed. And remember, the first plugin that is very useful in FL Studio for beginning, it is Fruity Parameters EQ2. Okay, that's our first plugin. What we have to do to make a riser for our lead piano? Click here and select present and cut 30 kHz, and after this pull here and right click on the frequency. It's very important that click on the frequency and click create automatic clip. So here is our riser. Move it just down to make it more convenient, like this, and let's make our riser. Yeah, exactly. So what we have to do now, all the plugins that are installed for each this tab that is connected to our instrument is performed here. Clicking if this button is green, that means that this plugin is now active. Click on it to disable it. So we also can rename this tab to understand which instrument is located on this tab in this moment. So right click and rename, and lead, here is our lead piano, uppercase again, lead piano. Okay, now we understand lead. Okay, lead piano. Now we have this lead piano here, and our plugin is enabled. So in the future I will tell you about all plugins that we're gonna use, but in this example I'll show you how to make this dynamic riser. So let's listen how it sounds without our enabled plugin. So now it is disabled. At the start we have aggressive piano, and now we enable this plugin and listen. And again, and listen this again. Yeah, it's much better to delete kicks from this side and start like this maybe. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. And what we can see here, currently our plugin is connected to our lead piano, and when we are starting it, we will see how it's dynamically changes. Pay attention on this plugin bar. What does it mean? That means that our decibels and gigahertz are opening step by step dynamically depending on our playlist current playing progress. So it's pretty cool to make this for intros, especially for intros. And listen again. So that's our intro, and now you know how to work with this mixer and how to make the riser plugin. Okay, and we, for our convenience, can rename our channel rack instruments. So now, as you can see, here is the names of instruments, plugins that we're using for our each instrument individually. So, and let's rename it by clicking on the right click and rename color icon. So here is our kick. Go to the next hour was clap, rename and clap. The next one is our head, head. The next is our lead piano. And here was our automation. It's for our rising lead piano, and let's state a yellow color. Also, let's give the name for our each tab in our mixer panel for each instrument. So we can see that our kick is number 1, so let's rename it a kick. The second one was a clap. Remind you that also you can change the color, but let's state as a default one, because we don't have this a lot of different things that we have to remember now. So let's state the default color. So the third one was a hat. Here's the snare. We're at the moment not using any snares, but let's stay it here. Maybe in future we will. Snare. And well, already have this lead piano, and of course that our automation, that it doesn't have any mixer tab position, because it's has its own mixer. So what we need to make the next step? The next step will be our working with a new plugin for the reverb plugin. Reverb makes our sounds more deeper. So, and we have to add this plugin for our clap. So let's find our clap here. Now it sounds like this. So I just want to make it like it sounds deeper. Let's find our clap in our mixer tab. It's here, and we can see that here is no assigned any plugins yet. For our lead piano we already have it. For our clap, let's add it. So let's click this button and select, and the name of our plugin, remember this, is our Fruity Reverb 2. Okay, that's how it looks like, and we can see that it's already enabled, and let's see how it sounds now. You can feel it? You can feel it, yeah, it sounds cooler. And how to work with that plugin I will explain you later, but now let's make the basic configuration for this. Reduce the feed. Okay, let's compare again without this plugin and enable. Okay, that's what we were found. And we can notice that automatically this plugin will be enabled also in our main playlist, because our clap is attached there. And let's see how it sounds now. I just forgot to enable it. Okay, now we had an example how it sounds without it, and now this plugin is enabled. Okay, that sounds cooler, I think. And now you know about another plugin. It's a Fruity Reverb 2. Okay, for now I want to add our harp instrument in our playlist to make our lead piano and harp sounds in one time. I think that it will be cool. So for now I will use our plugin. The next plugin that you have to remember, just click here in our all plugins and choose the plugin called Harmless. To open it, just a double click. So what we can see here, a lot of buttons, but by default don't try to change here something. They are already configured for you. You can change the presets here using these two buttons. So they have a lot of different variants here, and you just have to choose your favorite one. Okay, and we can also see that our plugin is added to our channel rack, and this name depends on the sound that you have choose here. And what we have to do now, we have to open our new pattern, and for this pattern we have to add our piano roll. So now I will make our harp melody. Okay, our harp melody is ready, and for the plugin I have chosen the following one, that is called Lucky Emerson, and it sounds like this. So where is our pattern? Go ahead. Let's move here. And and it sounds like this. Okay, our next step. Our next step will be we have to add our pattern number 5, our harp, in our main melody. So, but first of all, let's rename it. Rename as a harp, and let's choose the color. Let it be this one. Okay, and also rename it here. It's our harp. Okay, so for our harp, let's define number 6 and let's call it harp also. But anyway, we will not use any plugin for our harp, so let's put it here. At this time we will, at the start, we'll enable all our instruments, but in future we will play around with our playlist to make it sounds like a real song. But now it will sound like this. Okay, now we have enough instruments to make our full beat, and let's start with our pattern. I think that at the start harp it's not necessary. Just to delete it, remind you, just hold the right click and drag it to your instrument that you want to delete. So at the start I think that this will be okay. We will add our lead piano, and here we will add to our arps. So, and also we will continue with our beat and our clap. Our head will be later, so I think that we have to continue this with arp, with our lead piano, with our clap and kick, like this. After that we will not using our harp. I think that for 2 loops of our lead piano, but we will continue only with our wrong button, with our claps. Yes, like this. Whoa, why this? Let's only left our claps. Yeah, we will continue with claps, and here we will add our kicks. So okay, but I think that it will be cooler to make like this. And here our lead piano. Just make here the pause without all instruments, and here we will add this massive attack of this our kick, clap and head. Yeah, and also we will continue with our head, with our arp, claps and kicks. Yeah, I think that we can repeat it again for one more time. Leading piano, claps, kicks, 2 arps and our heads. So here we will make this pause, and again maybe 2 lead pianos. Here will be this pause of also we will make the pause of 2 sequences, and we will fool it with our claps, arps, yeah, and heads. Maybe we will make it like this. In this, yeah, at the continue we will end our beat with only with arp. Yeah, and let's see how it sounds all together.
Cool, congratulations, our beat is ready. So, and now we're ready to listen our final result. Okay, thanks for watching and see you soon.